This video will demonstrate how to pin your paper pattern pieces to the felt and then cut them out. Ultimately, that's going to be the design on your final pillow. So when you've chosen your design and cut it out, you're going to pin it to felt. Felt, again, is what your design will be made of. So we're going to take our pins, and you've watched the pinning video, so this will kind of be a repeat, but you're going to pin the paper pattern piece to the felt. And again, we just go in the paper, out the other side, in the paper, out the other side, and you just want to make sure it's secure before you actually start cutting. This way, your design will be nice and even. Same thing with the P. It's also good, you don't really want to necessarily put it in the middle to give yourself less work. Put it right next to the side, and this will save us a few cuts. So I'm going to go down this main side, in the fabric and paper, out the other side. Same thing over here, I'll go in the paper and fabric, out the other side. And then we're going to cut out our design, which again, will be what's on the front of our pillow. So we're going to use fabric shears on this. And I like to separate when I'm cutting to make it a little easier. So I'll separate the P. And the smaller pieces are a little more difficult to cut out. I find that the scissors are sharpest if you go all the way in and just do little snips. So not too different from cutting the paper, except these are fabric shears. I'm going to snip, turn, snip. We've got that little groove, so I'll just do real tiny stitches, turn it, tiny stitch, turn it. Now I'm gonna go up the side. Same thing, my groove, I turn my scissors, and you just go nice and slow, making sure you do this nice and neat. So there's the outside shape. And again, I have to do the middle. So what I like to do is take out the pins because I can't bend it with the pins in. Bend it in half, and I'm gonna cut out the center, which might take a few tries, but I'm just gonna do a little snip, do a little snip. You can also open it up. See where my snips are, and kind of go in with the shears. And cut out my P, the center of my P. The other thing you can do when you're done cutting it out is if there's any raw edges or you're not satisfied, you can kind of trim it up so you have your letter. And that'll go the same for all your letters. And if you need multiple P's, you can use this pattern again and again. For my heart shape, a little bit simpler, we're just gonna follow the outside shape of the heart. Again, I like to use little short strokes with my shears, just following along the outside of the pillow. Pardon me, the outside of the pattern. Making it nice and neat. And if you're not 100% satisfied, when we're done, we can clean it up a little. So I'm almost done with the outside shape. And when you're deciding on your pattern, you want to make sure that it's not too complex and there's not too many small pieces because it's going to be very difficult to cut it out. So we'll remove the pins. And again, this heart can be reused. If you want to look at your heart and if you see any raw edges, you can just tidy those up a little. Make sure your shears are nice and sharp. And there we have our pattern pieces, again, which will go on the front of our pillow.